welcome to another episode of the Down Under Stormtrooper. So the last time we worked on the helmet, we did a couple of coats of the UV resin, and to be honest, I'm really happy with the progress so far. It's really smoothed out a lot of the layer lines from the 3D printing process. I managed to get a lot of the nicks and the bumps and everything like that from the helmet. I'm also really happy with the seam. So when I joined the dome to the back and the faceplate there, it didn't actually seal, and it wasn't a flush finish, so I had to go and clean that up a little bit. So I just filled those gaps in there with some UV resin, and that's worked out really well. So for today, what I want to do is spend a little bit more time getting the helmet completely smoothed out. So what that will mean is essentially a couple more passes of some UV resin over the top of this, some super light passes of that. I'm going to try out some of these makeup brushes or the makeup application tools that my youngest gifted me. I found that these foam applicators, they started disintegrating with the resin, so I don't really want to have to sand off little bits of foam from the helmet again. So I'm going to try out these makeup applicators, see if they will they'll apply the resin okay. I may have to cut them up a little bit to sort of make them a better shape, but we'll see how that goes. And failing that, I'll just go to change over to a brush. So today I've got my safety gear with me, so I've got the respirator, so just these resin does sort of give off some nasty fumes, and I'm in a small closed environment, so I don't have a lot of natural ventilation here at all, so I'm going to make sure I have the mask on, of course gloves, so I'll be making sure that I don't do anything stupid like I did in the last video, which was cure any resin that actually appears on the gloves, so it'd be nice to not get burnt today. So yes, I've got a glove to protect myself from the resin, and of course eye protection. Don't want any of that resin getting in here as well, so they'll fit nicely over the top of my reading glasses. Okay, so the other things that I've got working on here today, I've got some alcohol. This will clean up the grime that's sort of left over, a little bit of film that gets left over on the resin afterwards. So some isopropyl alcohol, and I'll use that to clean the helmet between layers. Also, what I'm going to be doing again is, so I'm using the eSun PLA resin. I don't particularly have any reason for choosing that brand aside from the fact that I really like the eSun filament, and it was also a pretty good price. So, they had this at JCar, my local JCar Electronics, the day after Boxing Day. They had it on sale, so I was able to get this for just under $30, and it's a 500ml bottle. So I was pretty happy with that. It wasn't a massive commitment of getting a huge bottle, so we'll see how far that lasts. So that's an e-resin PLA, just the standard sort of UV-based resin that will work with a resin printer. So so that's I'm pretty happy with that choice so far. I did get a clear. I don't really know if it matters if you get a clear or a coloured one, but the one I've got is a clear. The other thing I'm doing as well again is mixing it up with some baby powder. That helps to make sure that the resin is a little bit more viscous, so I don't want it to sort of be running all over the place. I want to be able to control it and let it slowly settle into all of the grooves. So put plenty of baby powder in there. I reckon I'm probably putting like a 1-to-3 ratio of baby powder in there. Okay, so let's get started. this applicator. It's allowing me to get a really nice clean coat on. It's super smooth when it goes on. My only concern is that maybe it's going on a little bit too thin, but I'll try that out when we, maybe to put a second coat on there as well. But yeah, that's really cool. I'm liking the applicator. The problem with these makeup applicators is that they're supposedly about $5 each, which is ridiculously expensive. So they're not the cheapest sort of thing to use. So if you can get them cheaper than that, then by all means, I would suggest grabbing some. The only other thing that I think is a little bit of a problem is that, unlike these foam ones, these really dense foam makeup applicators don't have a stick on them, so you're really getting your hands a little bit too close to the resin, and you're handling the actual brush a little bit too much. So that's my only sort of negative at this point, but I'm really happy with how smooth it's going on. Yes, I'm pretty happy with that so far, so I'm going to keep going along with this, keep applying this through, and we'll see how long this brush lasts. I've noticed it's not really soaking up as much of the resin as the yellow foam brush did, so that's a bit of a plus. I am finding that maybe I didn't mix the powder into the resin quite as well as I should have. There are some sort of smears coming on with that, but again, that can be cleaned up afterwards anyway. To do is to work on a small area at a time. That means that I can, I'm not getting too distracted by the whole unit. I'm also just focusing just a little bit area. So it means that I don't sort of miss runs, or it reduces the chance that I miss runs. And I can also spend a lot of time just focusing on a particular area to make sure that it's right. So yeah, if I were to put a whole slather of resin all over the helmet, then yeah, I'd probably lose track of where I am. So yeah, that's the way I like to work, and it's working quite well. So one of the things you may also see is that the helmet at this point looks a little bit rough, and I know in the last video when I got to this point I was starting to get a bit concerned, like what have I done, have I just wasted this 3D print? But it actually comes together really well once the sanding process is done, so I'm not too concerned that it's looking a little bit ordinary or a little bit like a dog's breakfast, but it's going to come good with sanding, so I'm comfortable with the way it looks right now. Idea just before we move on to the sanding stage and cleaning up the resin, just to bring it outside into the sun, let the natural UV cure anything that the torch may have missed. So I just like to make sure it's got everything else set now. Only leave it out here for a couple of minutes. It is the Australian sun after all, and it's summer, so the PLA is not going to survive too long, and not just the PLA, I don't think I will either. man, it's absolutely boiling in here. Sanding is most definitely a massive workout, especially on a hot summer's day in Australia. So something that I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention is there's some detail in here on the ear that I've noticed that because we've covered it in resin, that it's actually lost some of the detailing. Now, one of the things I need to double check here is with the costume reference library, the CRL. I need to double check to make sure whether or not what the rules are around the screws. So I am thinking that what I may do is drill these out and actually put real screw heads in. But I believe the CRL for Rogue One does not want to see a slot in there for, like a slit in there for the screw head. So that's something that I may need to address. Well, this little down under Stormtrooper is absolutely exhausted. All in all, I'm really happy with the progress so far. That last pass, the UV resin, worked amazing. It really helped fill in, especially the rings on the top of the helmet. I noticed that they are really looking good now. There's still a few things that I think need to be cleaned up, but what I'm going to do, I want to take a bit of a break from the project for today and come back with it maybe tomorrow with some fresh eyes, because I think there may be some more opportunity for additional sanding, and I'm a little bit too tired to do any more sanding right now, so I'm going to give it a rest. So anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and yeah, if you let me know with the comments of anything that you'd like to know more of, or any questions that you might have, and yeah, that'd be great. All right, thank you.